Hi, everyone. From me, Brent Graham. It's Wednesday night, 9 o'clock. Not the usual night for our show, but we're going to be talking a bit of Rugby World Cup quarter-final predictions with King Kramer. Yes, he's playing in the Super Brew pool with us, and I'll bring him on the screen now. Darren Kramer. Darren, great to have you on the show, mate. I know you want to get a good night's rest, or maybe you don't, because you're flying to France tomorrow.
Yeah, super excited. Been thinking about this day for the last few weeks since we kind of, since we kind of knew the order. Obviously, there are a few variables with that Scotland game that people were, fantasizing about. Well, not even fantasizing, dreading the number 21. But yeah, looking forward tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're off to Paris and looking forward to, first of all, the Irish beating the New Zealand and then South Africa, putting the home crowd, keeping them quiet.
Well, Henrik Swart, I see, joins us in the live chat now. I was going to actually ask if Henrik is watching. Henrik, Darren is flying at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Are you flying on the same flight? Because, of course, Henrik is also going over to France. Just be careful. Don't go through customs with Henrik, Darren. He's got about 20 bottles of Clippies. He showed me a picture of his luggage there, so you don't want to be going. You don't want to go going through them. And Bitsy joining us from Australia. So great to have you on, Bitsy. We're going to be talking quarterfinals. So we still got our main show coming on Friday as well. Darren Holiday joining. So first of all, let's start at the just quickly on the competition so the guys know what to do. Guys, we're going to be giving away 2 500 Rand Pokerbet vouchers. What you need to do in the live chat, you just got to use hashtag poker and you will be entered into that draw. We'll do the draw for the 2 vouchers at the end of the show. So bear that in mind as you go through. You only have to do it once. Everyone can only enter once, and we'll do the lucky draw at the end of the show. Darren, before we move on to the games, I want to talk about your double dream. And what I do enjoy about Pokerbet, I must be honest, it's there's a lot of people who say that these days there's no such thing as a bookmaker anymore. It's all, and in fairness, you are dictated to largely by the sort of odds you show. What I love about you guys is you love a gamble. And essentially what you've done here is you said, right, guys, if South Africa win the World Cup cricket and rugby, you're going to, and we'll talk about the quick qualification now, but essentially you're going to give R1 million into 3 people's Pokerbet account. So maybe just quickly run through us what the guys need to do. I can tell you there's an article I've got the link below. I think if I haven't, I'll put it there. But it goes through all the terms and conditions. And let me say up front, absolutely nothing to fear as a punter. This is a fair competition. You don't have to roll the R1 million over, thank God, 5 times. You can withdraw it if you want to. Tell us just how they enter. What do they have to do to enter the comp?
Yeah, so something that I'm a very passionate, loyal South African. So don't worry. Everyone's thinking, why would I, flying over to support the Springboks and cheering on my own pocket? We've actually punted it. I'll even get to more to that, how the odds have shortened somehow since South Africa beat Sri Lanka. But yeah, I kind of thought, we always talk about how, the Proteas can never do it. They got an exciting result of Sri Lanka. The market went mad and everyone thought, well, here's Markram, the next player of the series. And I really do actually believe that the Boks can win this Rugby World Cup. I do think the winner of the France-Africa game lifts it. So anyway, I said, I wanted to do something pretty big and pretty out there and with no, funny T's and C's. So basically what we've done is just place a 50 Rand bet on any Rugby World Cup, Rugby World Cup or Cricket World Cup market. If you place, as long as you place 1 50 Rand bet, you qualify. And basically, if we do it, which is not that unlikely, as I said, the odds have gone from 40 to 1 to, I was looking through quite a few other sites, around the 26, 27 to 1 mark. If we do it, we will pick 3 people that will win R1 million each. It'll go into a Pokerbet account. You can withdraw the money within 8 seconds, no T's and C's, nothing, and you will be a millionaire. So not only will you be cheering on probably Markram or maybe Rassie or maybe probably Miller hitting the winning runs, but you'll be a millionaire as well. So something that I'm super excited about. I'll be cheering them on. I think it'll be a great story. And yeah, we're excited to have this promotion. Now, all I can say is I hope this promotion is going to go for a while. Obviously, the caveat.
I hope it doesn't end on Sunday night at about 10:30.
Yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, I must say, Henrik also saying, he said it's a great promotion. And yeah, excellent. And Mark Dunphy asking, if he enters, do you mind paying him €1 million if he wins?
It might be a bit tough. Just, yeah. So I can tell you when I tried to bet it with the South African or all the other sort of the bookies, they were getting a little bit, shy when I said, listen to me, guys, I need to win $500,000 now. I'm trying to back. They were saying that's my chop. Don't worry, we found 1 or 2 bucket chops along the way that were excited to jump in on the promotion. But yeah, I think it'll give a bit. I think it's something exciting, and hopefully, as you say, we go past Sunday and we can keep this going.
Well, I just want to mention 2 other things. I won't go into all the detail now, but we got a last punter standing competition on the forum, which you guys are also getting involved with. We're speaking to Jonathan on that one, and we've got that on the forum. So go onto the forum and you can have a look. I'll make sure there's a link down below as well. And then we've also got a very exciting one, I think, for the guys who play in Super Brew and for the guys who are not playing Super Brew. One nice thing about Super Brew, it gives you the capability of starting a new league, but like starting this week. So everyone's going to start on 0 points. And what I've discussed with Darren here, guys, is we're going to set up this new league. I haven't set it up yet. I just wanted to confirm everything with him. It's going to be called something like Starting Fresh. And anybody who plays in anybody who's playing Super Brew can come into this league. And what we'll have is we'll have R1,000 first prize and a 500 second and a 250 third. But what we're saying is if you can get all 8 games right and 8 margin points, and once again, it's not going to be easy, but it is, you have more chance of doing it in the playoffs than you do in the group stages. 8 games, if you can get 8 winners and 8 margin points, what do you say, Darren? A 20,000 voucher for the guys.
20,000.
If someone can nail that.
T's and C's, you nail it, you get it. So yeah,
excellent.
Something exciting. Hopefully, we get down to maybe the semis or the finals, and there'll be a few people sweating it. So looking forward to it. So, hopefully. I expect most of us to be on the box, selecting that, so that again on Sunday we'll see how many survive after that. But so that's the promotion, and come as many as you can and join.
Excellent. Just a reminder, use #poker. I see lots of you guys have entered for the vouchers. We'll do that draw at the end of the show. One other competition we're going to be doing on the Good for the Game forum that Pokerbet also getting involved in regarding South African team selection. But we won't talk about that any further now because I want to get on and talk about these games, Darren. I mean, we've got Wales up against Argentina first up on Saturday. We got Wales -4.5. Handicap, I think there's been a bit of money for the Welsh, opened -2.5, -3.5. Money has come slightly for the Welsh. We've got a total points line of 44.5. So first of all, as a bookmaker, what are you standing here? And personally, what do you think is going to happen?
So I personally actually backed Wales at 6-10 and took the 2.5. I thought, I came into this competition thinking the Wales were. I remember I think it was actually with Heinrich from one of the shows, and they were very poor. And I thought Argentina would actually win that group, with England. I've had to change my thoughts. Scotland, made them very solid, Biggers fit for this weekend, and the Argentinians have just disappointed me. Just even all of their games, they beat Samoa, and Samoa were really off. I thought even against Japan were in the game for most of it. A few tackles, a few Carreras breaks, and that kind of made the margin a bit bigger than it was. I really like Wales. I probably haven't looked at the risk thing. I expect us probably to be standing Wales. The line is probably, in my opinion, getting to where it should be. I thought it was a 5.5, 6 line. But so the 2.5 was great value. If any of you guys, I fancy some of the sharp guys got in there early, or the 6-10. And I think Wales edge it. I think Wales,
Yeah, so I'm in agreement there. I think I kept this game at about 7.5. And for me, I must say, Wales didn't have a great build up to the World Cup, but I watched them at the start and I thought, this is actually not a bad Wales side. I like their backline. They got a nuggety captain, good forwards. They're going to be, what I can say about Wales is they're going to be hard to beat. They're one of those sides, and that's normally how their Gatland teams are. They're not necessarily going to set the world alight, but my goodness, you're going to battle to beat them. And some of the defense against Australia and that I thought was absolutely superb. So I think we're quite aligned on this one. Going to be very interesting. I see you've got a try line there of 4.5. I was hoping the bookies might go 5.5 on these semis, but fair enough. 4.5 is probably right, eh?
Yeah, and I'll say one thing as a South African, I don't think any of us want to see Michael Checker win a game of rugby. So he drives me. I swear he's up there. Him and Eddie Jones and them. Yeah. So hopefully the Wales pull through. But I do think they'll be very clever. And Jack Morgan's been great. I think Wales edge that.
Right. Well, just to bring Shane's question up now. Shane is one of our Irish viewers, been with us for a long time. He's asking, can overseas players open Pokerbet accounts? Darren, I don't think they can, but maybe you can just...
they can't unless they are... If they're born in South Africa or they have South African ID, then they can. So if you've got a South African ID at any point you've lived here kind of thing, South African ID, you can. Or foreigners living in South Africa with a proof of address or anything. So any kind of link to South Africa, you got to kind of do it. Obviously, to play, you'd have to VPN. From overseas, some countries allow it, based on that. So as long as if you're born in if you got South African ID, then you can play.
Okay, there we go, Shane. Probably not. I know that you don't have any South African background, so probably not for you. There, Johan saying 1 to 12. Cathal Sheehan just making the point. I just want to go back to this comment. It's a disgrace that two of these teams will be. Well, one of these sides. Are you talking about the Wales Argentina will be in the semi-final? Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about the draw. Still so disappointed. But what it does mean, I mean, it's given you a great opportunity. As you said to me before the show, there's more people going over for the quarterfinals than the others because you knew that you were getting two absolute cracker quarterfinal matches.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not that old, not that young, but in my time of watching rugby, this is as good as you're going to get. The four best teams, and actually, I was saying to someone who's great is four of them are playing pretty good rugby. They're playing really good rugby. Actually, they're good teams. It's not like two of them are third and fourth on average. These are four quality teams. So you're getting a pretty insane experience seeing both of them. Within 1 day of each other.
Right. Well, we'll move on to, I would say, the first really highly anticipated semi-final of the weekend. Ireland opened up -1.5 against New Zealand. Darren will tell me if I'm right. I sense a bit of money has come for the Irish. Although at the same time, I know a lot of punters who are saying New Zealand are going to arrive and they're going to beat them. We've got a points line of 45.5. It's probably the game where I'm most nervous about the points line, especially as I was, Darren, on under 5.5 tries in Ireland against Scotland. And the moment Scotland turned down that first 3-pointer, I thought I'm done. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
What do you make of this one?
I actually at halftime bet under 7.5 points on Scotland because I thought they can't score 2 tries into this Irish defense. In that 5 minutes of madness, they scored 2 tries. So that didn't do too well. But so this was the thing. I think that line probably came up one because of James Lowe and Hansen. Then they're not being shown, both of them. The doubts. It seems like just James Ryan is the only one kind of missing out of that. I don't know. This is maybe my mind has been fixated, but I've always thought, and I'd even beat, that New Zealand are just not the team they were when they get into this, these tight quarterfinal, semi-final games. That these, the football, France, South Africa, and Ireland forwards were actually going to smash them. Tyrone Lomax, I think, is going to be fit, but I'm not convinced he's 100%. I just think that. Yeah, I really like the Irish here. I think they can play a tight game. I think that the breakdown, the loose trio is just unbelievable. And I just think they're going to squeeze New Zealand. And New Zealand are going to try this extravagant from the back. I think, I looked at the weather. It's not great on Saturday. I think there's some rain around. So I think that can only suit the Irish. Cool weather conditions with rain. I know it's, kind of nervous game for me. This is the one game that I love Ireland. I really do. I really love Ireland.
Yeah, I must say, you like me are playing in our big Super Group pool where we've got a first prize of 30,000 on the line. And this is a crucial weekend, really, because, and particularly you'd think this game and the Bok game. And I must say, I've been bouncing around, I'm not going to lie, but overall, I just think Ireland, I think their pack is going to be too strong ultimately for New Zealand. And 2M systems, Ireland exposed themselves against Scotland, but in a rather impressive way. I've got to say they were hell of impressive to me against Scotland. And you look at New Zealand, yes, they were brilliant against Italy, but Italians came out after, got hammered by France. So the only game you can maybe look at New Zealand is the French game and say, there they were, that's a lot of fun. So I'm kind of with you. I think the Irish as well. I've got Irish mates, and I know they're going to be absolutely unplayable if they win the World Cup, but to me, they're going to just be the team to beat. And I'm also in the Irish camp at the moment.
Yeah. So I like that. I really like that a lot. Don't have an opinion on the points. So it's nervous because it's one of those things where Irish defense is just superb, but New Zealand can open things up. But as I say, I'm not even worried about. I saw some people worry about stats of how many minutes the Irish have played because obviously their draw was tough. I think there's enough break, and I think that the players that they protected, the Sextons, played 50 minutes last week, so I expect them to be fresh.
Yeah, that's it. Mark Dunphy, he's also in Ireland. Can't believe that we're favourites against New Zealand. And then I've got to mention another good Irish, good friend of Good for the Game as well, Dave Cooney coming in. Dave, Ireland, no doubt about it. I think you were there for the Scotland game. He was sending me a few picks. So great, Dave. Give us your score prediction. I'd be interested in that one as well. Okay, let's move on then to the next game.
Well, I just want to ask, did you see a mad stat actually? Since the New Zealand tab opened in 1996, New Zealand have played 359 games. Up until this year, they had only been underdog in 4 games, and all 4 were away against South Africa. I don't know if you saw that. They'd never won a game.
I saw that. I saw it on Twitter
underdog.
today. Unbelievable.
How mad? They've never won a game as underdog. That is a crazy stat. They did it this year when I think they beat South Africa away, but generally before this, they'd never won a game. So based on that, I mean, you got to like the Irish even more.
Yeah, that's it. I can see you very much in the Irish camp there. We'll see if there's a couple of more comments before we get into the next game. There we go. Henrik is bringing up that stat as well. So yeah, that was floating around Twitter today. A really good one. Right, that brings us to Sunday's action. Now this is a hell of an interesting game. We got England against Fiji. They're meeting in a warm up. I'm not too worried about that. Fiji managed to beat them there at Twickenham. I think Fiji beat them if I remember correctly. But irrespective of that, Fiji started the World Cup strong. I mean, they were unlucky against Wales, you'd argue, and they played really well to beat Australia. Since then, they've gone into the dumps a bit. England have come through a pretty easy group. They're -8.5 here. And I can't decide. A lot of people are saying Fiji have sort of shot their bolt. They're looking tired. They're going to get put away. But I can't get that Fiji out of my mind that we saw against Australia, for example, and think if that team rocks up, they're going to give England a good game. Darren, what do you make of this one? And where's the money coming here?
So, yeah, this one's very confusing for me. There is money for England. I think they went from 6.5, 7. I think it was more around 7 to 8.5. They moved about 1.5 points. I think this one's very confusing to me because the reality is England just flat to deceive every time. You can go to the Samoa game. You can go to anything. The reality, besides that first game, you just don't know. These English, they don't kill teams. They just don't have it in them. This killing, So I think also again, and I'm going to, keep repeating myself. They put this Farrell at 12. It just takes so much away from that back line. Just commit to George Ford and play your centers, and just tell Farrell that unfortunately, the ship has sailed. So I think for Fiji, they were a weird team. When Fiji get really worked up and into a game and they get that passion, they do magic things. That Portugal game, their mind is probably on the quarters. It's one of these weird things. Are they close in the game? The crowd definitely going to be, I suppose close for the English, but the neutrals or the French will definitely be in the Fiji camp. I think this is a very hard one to call. I don't like anything. Of all of them, probably, the next one as well, but I'd definitely stay out of this. Let me ask you,
yes. Let me take you away from betting for a minute. If you're assuming you need to make a move in Super Brew, is this the type of game where you might be able to throw the Fijians in?
Yes. I just wish Super Brew would give you a bonus for picking the outside or something. The away win or whatever you want to call it. But yes,
no, that's it.
I definitely think that, especially in the Super Brew thing, I'll definitely be on the plus per se. You know what I mean? I might pick this is where you could go for the Fiji win or England by 2 or something. Yeah, I think this is, and I think it might not be too bad a matchup. I'm trying to think, the Fijian scrum's been solid, and they're going to get a lot of ball. England's going to kick a lot of ball deep to them and try, suffocate them. The Fijians will run from the back. So yeah, this is the one game that I'm actually very stuck.
Right, and now we've got the big one. France up against South Africa. Will South Africa win and carry forward the dream of the double dream and the 3 millionaires? Well, France, they're going to have to beat the favorites. France are -1.5 here against the Springboks. What a cracking match this should be, Darren. Total points around 43.5. It's low. It's not low enough, in my opinion. I think this is going to be absolutely tight.
Yeah. So, I'm also interested. Twitter's been going mad with rumors about Rassie doing some interesting team selections, right? It hasn't stopped. It makes me think, this is going to be a kicking duel. This is just going to be kicking from side to side. People forget these French, they kick even more than, most other teams playing territory, which makes me think, I don't know if when I was trying to, be a devil's advocate and see where the surprise or the Rassie thing is, maybe it's Kenan Moody, tall, good in up and unders. He's an interesting one. I agree with you. The points, I think it might even be too high. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because this crowd, you touch DuPont anywhere, I swear they're just going to boo. I don't think you do anything. This guy is basically there. He's the face of the tournament. So I'm just nervous. I see we've got 2 New Zealanders, TV ref, and we've got Ben O'Keefe as on-field ref. Hope it's going to be a hard game to manage. I just think that's where I'm nervous. I think it'll be very tight and very close. It's going to be a lot of it, say, scrum penalties potentially, or turnovers. So yeah, exactly. I see if I read writing, he's on the minus because of the 50-50 calls. I am nervous about that. I'm nervous about that, which is why I'm expecting it's tough for us. He's going to leave the level-headed guys. Dwayne, does he start Marnie and then bring Pollard on? Because he's going to need it in the last 20, 25 minutes. And I think that's one thing that Rassie got wrong with, or what we landed up when in Ireland on the field. Bongi was off, Sia was off. We need a leader potentially. So, yeah. I see Hanuk asking, Dupont's definitely starting. He's supposedly fine. I mean, to be honest, I never thought, when he got injured, I just thought I always thought he was going to start. I always thought he was going to start because I thought that the French don't think they could have beaten us without him. He's just too key to this team. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm like heart, head, emotions, all of it. I think it's tight. Probably is.
It's hard.
Yeah.
No, I think you exactly are reflecting what I think the majority of us feel here. It's heart, head. You think South Africa can do it, but you've got this horrible feeling that France will sort of get up. Ramos's boot. I mean, what a great boot this guy's got in him. And it's interesting you mentioned that, Darren, because here's another thing of heart versus wallet. I managed to get some 4-1 Ramos top point scorer at the start of the tournament. But now the reality is Sexton, if Ireland beat New Zealand, Sexton's sort of 10 points behind him. So it means France, for that bet to arrive for me, I kind of need France to progress to the semis. At the same time, I want South Africa to do it. By the way, I won a Pokerbet competition a while back, and the prize was a bet on the Rugby World Cup. And I stuck it with, I had 1,000, and I had that. So at least I got some interest on South Africa.
That's awesome.
7-2 or something like that.
Very good bet. It's a very good bet, especially with having that Namibia as well, in their group. I think he is scary. I mean, kicks it from everywhere, So that Ramos thing is just it's a big worry for us. As I say, I hate talking about it, but it feels like I don't want to be writing on Monday about the ref, but it feels like it's going to be either that way or
and practically in any games, I would argue that as well. The way that TMO and I mean, sometimes when I've been watching games here and something's happened, then I think I've seen something, then I'm just listening out for that check. It drives me absolutely crazy.
It's crazy. Do you think that it's an opinion from you. Do you think that like this, it seems like they started off being very strict on the red card thing, and one or two of them they've actually realized that you're just killing the game? I don't know. It feels like a slightly.
It looks to me that they've dropped off on the Reds. Have really had to be blatant because early on there was a lot of inconsistency, and I think they're definitely looking for mitigation now. And I just think there's so many of these things are what I would call rugby incidents. Where I mean, some as you're standing there and you're not actually going into the tackle, but the guy comes towards you, and I just hope. And I mean, I think there's going to be controversy, unfortunately, and it just it's a pity. But Shane coming in there just quickly to say sneaky bet Sexton player of the tournament. I don't know what price he would be there. And interesting, Darren, I took Dupont as player of the tournament. So when he got injured, I thought that was my money done. But I guess he's still a runner because, I mean, if he comes back with a bloomin' mask on his face and leads France to victory, let's say ultimately into the final against Ireland or whatever, I mean, it's going to be hard to stop him from being player of the tournament.
I just think the French, if they win it, they just give it to Dupont. I swear. It's one of those things how Messi wins the football, even in certain situations, they just give this to Dupont. Like if Dupont, as I said, comes back from nothing, leads them, he's just their guy. So I still think that, honestly, I still think you're favorite there. I do think you're favorite. I think,
I guess it all depends on, he starts the game, but does he, is he really over his injury? I guess that's going to be the key.
Exactly. And how much do they protect him in that?
Excellent. Well, what I want to do now is I'm going to bring the lucky draw up for the 2 500 Rand vouchers. Oh. We'll also have a team one on the Good for the Game forum. So guys, look out for that. I'll have that up in the morning. But let's bring this up. So we've got 2 500 Rand vouchers to give away. And I'm going to do the draw now. I've just got to hop across to the other screen. And let's see who wins the first of the 2 500 vouchers. I recognize the surname there. I think is my son. Him and his mates having a poker evening tonight. And Stefan Jabir, well done, Stefan.
Nice. Well done.
Regular on all of our shows. Well done. So that's our first one. We'll do. Didn't actually put anything up, but you guys know the drill. Just email me, Brent@goodforthegame.co.za, and I will get hold of the Pokerbet guys for you there. Keelan Creel, well done to Keelan Creel there.
Oh, nice.
He's
the
other winner of
the
Pokerbet,
huh? I like
Pokerbet voucher there. So very well done, guys. You both win 500 rand. Sorry, I lost you there for a second, Darren.
No, I'll just say Keelan's showing up the King of Spades, There's a poker player there.
Yes. The chances are he's got a Pokerbet account already. Sorry, I think it was my Wi-Fi there. Every now and again, it's been slack over the last couple of days. But anyway, that's it, Darren, for this. Lots to look forward to. We got the big Super Brew competition. I'll have all the details up tomorrow. We got the last punter standing. We're going to have the team selection. And then from your side, have a great trip there, man. And hopefully send us a few weather with sort of, us points punters. We love a good weather forecast, eh?
Definitely. I'll let you know, Brent, exactly how Saturday's looking for the weather, especially because if it's wet, I reckon unders on there. So definitely I'll send you some there, maybe a few pictures, and thanks. Hopefully we're still in the competition come Monday.
Right. I'm going to ask you for your best bet now because I see Peter Paul is asking for it, and I normally do bring that up at the end of the show. Just Bitsy coming in with some American college football. And yes, certainly, if you're an addicted gambler, I'd certainly recommend you getting involved in that. Now, I'm only kidding. I know a lot of guys love their US sports, and always good to get the odd tip on the show there as well. But now, Darren, what do you think then? If having looked at everything there, what is your best bet for the weekend?
So I think it's a tough weekend per se. I mean, obviously the value on the Wales, I think a lot of it's gone. I mean, it was there. I would say if someone's going to bet, I like Ireland. I really do. I'm in the Ireland camp. I like them at 75 cents. I think they're going to be too strong based on the weather, based on that back and forth. So for me, Ireland to beat New Zealand.
Excellent. And for those of you who want my best bet, of course, you're going to have to sign up for the free newsletter down below. I haven't made up my mind yet. I do know that I'm going to be sweating on it, though, because I have, after starting the World Cup strong, Darren, I've been in some pretty shocking form over the last few weeks. So, that under 5.5 tries absolutely killing me in the Ireland-Scotland game. But listen, man, have a great trip. And thanks to Pokerbet, always great doing. As I say, I love the fact that you guys are prepared to take a punt on things, and it just makes it exciting to do it. And have a top trip, and hope we all alive next week in the Double Dream.
Awesome. Thanks, Brent. Keep up. Cheers.
And all the guys in the live chat, thanks a lot, guys. Best bet, Wales on the minus, says Fareed. Fareed, I'm leaning with you there. I do like Wales actually to beat Argentina fairly comfortably. Thanks, everyone. Remember, Friday, 12 o'clock, we'll have the handicap rugby chat that matters, where we'll also look at the quarterfinals. I've got a guest from New Zealand and a guest from America. Thanks, everyone.